employee sued me for fraud, claiming I deliberately mistranslated his job interview to cheat him out of $25,000 a year. I am a translator for hire, and my most recent job has me standing in this nice meeting room, interpreting a job interview between this hiring manager who smiles like he's selling timeshares, and my client who is deaf. My client signs his salary requirement is $75,000, completely standard for his 7 years of experience, and I voice it to this corporate snake. The manager nods, says, "That works for us," and I sign it back. My client's face lights up, and I pack up thinking this is one of those rare days where I actually helped someone's life get better. 3 weeks later, my client gets his first paycheck, and the amount is so wrong it might as well be in Monopoly money. He opens the contract he signed, which I never saw during the interview, and it states $50,000 annually, not $75,000. I get a text at 11:47 p.m. from my client, and I get a huge ball of anxiety in my gut because the message just says, "We need to talk now." He shows up at my apartment the next morning with a lawyer, throws the contract on my kitchen table like it's the knife I stabbed in their back, and signs with hands so angry I can barely understand them. "You lied. You told him I wanted $50,000 when I signed $75. I'm signing back so fast my hands are cramping. "I interpreted exactly what you signed, I swear." His lawyer speaks up, voice cold enough to freeze coffee. "The contract says 50. Do you have proof you said 75? And that's when I realize I'm screwed. I get served soon after for fraud, and my interpreting license gets suspended. I'm staring down a $50,000 lawsuit while my entire livelihood crumbles like stale cookies. The community turns on me. My client posts a warning about me on every deaf Facebook group, and my phone blows up with messages calling me a fraud, a fake, a hearing person who can't be trusted. I show up for a scheduled job at a doctor's office, and the deaf patient takes one look at me and requests someone else. Within 2 weeks, I've lost 80% of my income, and I'm eating ramen while watching my savings account shrink. The certification board, the people who decide if I can keep my interpreter license call me in, and this woman with glasses sharp enough to slice through bullshit looks at me like I'm something stuck to her shoe. The contract clearly states 50,000. Do you have proof you interpreted everything correctly? I don't, and my hands are sweating so bad I wipe them on my jeans 3 times. Corporate Snake provides a statement saying, "The interpreter told me 50, I have absolutely no reason to lie." And I'm thinking, yeah buddy, except your job is on the line too. Then the lawyer finds the smoking gum. She found another deaf employee who got lowballed at the same company. I'm pacing my apartment at 4 a.m. doing the math, and suddenly this isn't just about me anymore. My client had to move back with his parents because he can't make rent on Corporate Snake's discount salary. I spend 3 days tracking down every deaf employee ever hired by the company my client is working at. All 12 of them, every single one, got hired for $15,000 to $30,000 less than what they requested. I take this to the state labor board, fully expecting them to laugh me out, but instead they send in an undercover deaf investigator, wearing a hidden camera and everything. The investigator requests $70,000 in the interview, and Corporate Snake agrees on camera with that same timeshare smile, nodding enthusiastically saying, "We value your experience." Days later, the contract arrives showing $52,000, $18,000 less than agreed. When investigators confront him with video evidence, he points at the interpreter and says, "You must have misunderstood me." But they have him on camera, his voice saying 70,000, his hands shaking on the agreement. They learn the company saved over $340,000 by systematically underpaying deaf workers, like they're running a discount warehouse for human talent. A massive lawsuit with all 12 employees hits the company, and Corporate Snake Guy gets charged with fraud and discrimination. I watch news footage of him covering his face from cameras like a cockroach running from light. He'd spent 3 years hiding behind interpreters' voices, making us scapegoats for his theft. My client called via videophone the night the news broke, tears streaming down their face. They sign, "I'm so sorry, I should have believed you." The board cleared me 3 days later. Corporate Snake got fired within the week.